Would you try a diet that could preserve your mobility and strength during the aging process? If the answer to that question is yes, I'd like to introduce you to the Mediterranean diet, while I make a Mediterranean diet-friendly white bean salad. Known for its high intake of fruits, vegetables, legumes, cereals, fish, and unsaturated lipids like olive oil, this diet is being researched for its beneficial impact in delaying the onset of physical impairments and improving muscle health. In this study, researchers pulled data on 1,084 participants from a different longitudinal study trying to better understand aging. These participants ranged in age from 60 to 94. Baseline and follow-up data for up to 12 years was used for the study. Adherence to the Mediterranean diet was categorized into low, moderate, and high categories based on answers to a food frequency survey. A modified Mediterranean diet score was used as suggested when surveying non-Mediterranean diet countries like Sweden. Mobility was determined by walking speed in meters per second across a specified distance. Chair stands were measured in seconds and were used to determine strength. Participants were asked to cross their hands over their chest and then sit and stand 5 times in a row. A higher walking speed represents better mobility, and a lower chair stand time represented better strength. Associations were determined based on statistical analyses to check for significance in the relationship between Mediterranean diet adherence with mobility and strength. Statistical analyses adjusted for confounding variables, which are external influences that may have had an effect on results.
This figure has two graphs that look specifically into the effect of the Mediterranean diet on walking speed and chair stand times. The first graph, boxed in green, represents walking speed with walking speed in meters per second on the y-axis and follow-up time in years on the x-axis. The walking speed scale ranges from 0.70 meters per second to 1.25 meters per second, and follow-up time is over 12 years. The red line, indicated by a black arrow, represents high adherence to the Mediterranean diet. And while all groups had a decline in walking speed over time, going from a higher walking speed to a lower walking speed, the high adherence group had the least decline, representing the best mobility retention. The second graph, which is now boxed in green, represents chair stand times with chair stand time in seconds on the y-axis with a range of 11.2 to 13 seconds, and again follow-up time from 0 to 12 years on the x-axis. The red line, once again indicated by a black arrow, represents high adherence to the Mediterranean diet. And while all groups had an increase in chair stand time over the years, the high adherence group had the least increase in chair stand time, representing the best strength retention.
Statistical analysis found that a 1-point increase in the Mediterranean diet scoring system, which is an 11% increase in adherence, was statistically associated with slower worsening in both walking speed and chair stand time. A strength to this study was its longitudinal design with a long follow-up period and a large sample size. Limitations to the study included that the sample used healthy and relatively wealthy participants, possibly limiting the generalizability of the results. The self-reporting nature of this study also comes with the risk of measurement error. Another limitation of the study is that the diet was only evaluated at the baseline evaluation of participants, not at every checkup. The study's overall conclusion was that a higher adherence to the Mediterranean diet may contribute to delaying the decline in physical function observed with aging. Further adjusting analysis for other confounding variables, as well as increasing comparison of measurable data like heart rate and blood pressure within studies of Mediterranean diet adherence, will help to confirm these results. Looking into mechanisms of these synergies will be one of the next steps. So, if you're looking for a diet with many potential health benefits, consider giving the Mediterranean diet a try, and you'll get to have delicious meals like this salad.